Hello everyone, this is Mr. Deonrine from Great Expectation Mathematics Tuitions. In this short video, we are going to look at the section on data handling, which is a topic in the fourth term of our curriculum. And today we're going to look and focus on the box and whisker diagram. A simple question, and I'm sure you'll find it enjoyable. So let's get started with that question. Okay, so in this activity we are looking at a question which is based on the scores of 10 students in a science test. Now what should be pointed out here, that we're looking at 10 students that took the test. So we need to note that our value for n, the count, is 10, which is an even number. This will play a part when calculating the 5-number summary. So our question is 1a, to draw the box and whisker diagram for the data. The first thing we check is the data arranged in order, and mainly ascending order. If it isn't, then you've got to arrange the data in ascending order. And if you look at the scores, we see you've got 90, 85, 10, 75, and so on, going down to 84. So our smallest value is 10. Then we have 55, 60, 70, 75, 78, 280s, 82, 84, 85, 90. Make sure that you do not leave any of the numbers. You can tick off the numbers as you go along. So we have arranged the numbers in ascending order. Once we have done that, we now have to work out the 5-number summary, which is the prerequisite to drawing a box and whisker diagram. If we look at our solution, we first find the minimum value, which is 10, our maximum value, which is 90. Now as we said that in working out the median, which would be the 5th and 6th number, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we're looking at 75 and 78 and 80, 78 and 80 as our middle two numbers. So if you look at that there, we add them and divide by 2 in order to get the median. The lower quartile is determined as the midpoint below 79, which would appear between 78 and 80, and that will give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. So our lower quartile will be using the first 6 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and remember there's 78, which will form part of the lower quartile. So we add the middle two, which is 60 and 70, and divide that by 2. So when it comes to even set of data, we must be very careful in calculating these statistics. The upper quartile also would be from 80 downwards, would give us our 6 numbers. Remember 79 is inserted between the two, 78 and 80. So we have our 6 numbers. The third number will be 82 and 84, which we add and divide by 2, which we will get 83. Once we've got all our 5 summaries, then we can now proceed to draw the box and whisker diagram. In the diagram you can see before you, it is explained exactly how we obtain Q1, Q2 and Q3, the quartiles. Now if we plot our minimum value 10, we need a scale at the bottom which are going in tens right up to 100. Our lower quartile Q1 is 65, that's Q1. Our upper quartile is 83, Q3, and our middle quartile or median is Q2. And then we proceed to draw our box and whisker diagram. So once we've got that drawn, we are now able to interpret and answer questions on this diagram. So the next question asks us to find the interquartile range, IQR as we commonly refer to it. Now interquartile range formula is Q3 minus Q1. So as we see here, it's simply 83 minus 65, which is 18. So that is our interquartile range for the answer for B. In C, we are asked whether the data is skewed or not. Now to determine this, we look at the box and whisker diagram. If you look at it, you can see to the left of the median there is a large space here than to the right. So the data is more spread out to the left. And in this way we say that the data is skewed to the left or it is negatively skewed. The data is negatively skewed or skewed to the left. Another also interpretation we could use is that the whisker to the left is longer than the length on the right. So that also tells us that the data is skewed. So to summarize that, we say the data is skewed to the left or negatively skewed. The whisker on the left is longer, that is the length of the left of the box is longer than the length on the right. Our last question asks us to determine whether 10 is an outlier or not. Now if you look at our diagram, we can see that 10, which is quite far from the rest of the data that is produced. So the person that scored 10, that is telling us that it's not a normal, should not have been a score in that class. But we also can determine mathematically that this 10, if it is an outlier, and how we can determine that if we look at a formula that we learned. If Q1 minus 1,5 times QR, we determine this range here. So it's 65 minus 1,5 times 18, which is 38. And the value 10 is less than 38, which indicates to us that it is an outlier to the rest of the data. So in that way we determine that the value 10 is an outlier. So I hope you gained from watching this video. Let's look at it again. It was a box and whisker diagram. We had data which we arranged in order. From that we proceeded to draw our box and whisker diagram using the 5-number summary. The interpretation of the box and whisker diagram was also done, and we looked at the meaning of an outlier, and how mathematically we could find that there. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video and see you next time.